Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Educational Gamer and we are playing Command Modern Naval Operations in war against Pakistan, us as the Indian UK coalition over here. I've just in between forwarded the game a little bit. I just wanted to get to a point where we conduct our next strike, but as I did that, we stumbled upon something over here. So it's been about 15 minutes since we last left off. There's not much that happened except that about 9 minutes ago, we spotted a potential submarine over here. So that is definitely something that we should be aware of because it's very, very close to us. Actually, it's within a mile. It's within a kilometer. Even it may even be as close as 300 meter to HMS Ambush over here. So let's look at what these guys are doing. I think they're just over the layer, just as we are. We are a little bit fast right now, so that is definitely something that I would like to avoid. So let's stop HMS Ambush over here and try to see what is going on, who that guy is and what he's doing. Right, so we should see you slowing down and that should give us a much better target lock. And you know what? I'm betting that this guy is hostile. I don't expect there to be any neutral forces over here, and if there were, which I don't think, I mean, they're just risking it. So of course we are gonna fire 2 torpedoes over here just right away at this guy, hoping that that is sufficient to deter him. I'm not entirely sure what has happened right now. Okay, so we do see a torpedo launched by these guys. Now there is one good thing, and that is our Spearfish torpedo over here is extremely fast. It's 80 knots. So if this guy has indeed launched a torpedo, which seems very, very likely at us, I'm still gonna bet that our torpedo is gonna hit before he will. And that indeed is very good. So let's just make sure that we have maybe even over allocating things. We're gonna go to full speed and we are gonna probably go over here. I'm guessing that these guys are diving down. They're trying to travel north, which is interesting. Yeah, definitely torpedo launched at us. So I think our own launch meant that this guy was detecting us as hostile. So you know what? One more thing that we can do over here is go on active sonar operations. And that should allow us to pinpoint him a little bit more accurately, and we are going to see about that. Do we know anything about this guy? We do not. We haven't detected anything, but you can see our torpedoes coming in much faster, and you'll just be able to see how much that really, how much difference that really makes. Okay, that's not good. So we've lost the guidance on some of our Spearfish torpedoes over here, namely on which one? On these two. That's not good due to excessive speed. Can I find more about out more about that? So we should have. You know what? I think what I'm gonna do over here then is go to creep speed. That will decrease our likelihood of attacking this guy, and we'll fire one more torpedo. Because if these two have been broken, I believe we do need to make sure that we do hit him. So let's see if we can do that. There we go, contact has been lost. That's excellent, so we can go back to flank speed now. Hoping that we can evade these torpedoes. They are apparently active radar seekers, so that does make our life a lot more difficult. Can we deploy dipping sonars? That's definitely not what I want. What I do want to do is go ahead and use some of these weapons, but I think they're probably auto-launching. Let's check that again though. Decoy expendable. I think these guys are simply doing that automatically. Can we actually counter-launch? Do not use weapon against this type. Decoy. Decoy will deploy automatically. Yeah, so Let's see how successful we are over here. I would have hoped that since we have broken the radar, basically have broken the guidance systems of these torpedoes, they'd be much less likely to hit. Let's see over here. So, torpedo, late 1980s technology, so not that great. We tried to spoof it. We did have a probability of only 1/3, but we were successful. So that torpedo now has missed its target. Let's see whether we can be lucky a second time. There we go. Yeah, we've been actually extremely happy over here. That's very, very good. That's extremely good. So we were able to spoof both of these torpedoes. Whether or not they'll turn around, we'll have to see. I think they might go in a seek pattern. And that might not be enough for us. You're trying to dive away, which I appreciate. Lost the contacts on these torpedoes, but you see him coming back, and I think he'll probably try to home in on us. So it's definitely good that we are traveling as fast as we can. Should probably try to travel straight away from him, if at all possible. So maybe go a little bit more like that. So yeah, there we go. I think these guys are coming in for another run. That's the thing. They are programmed pretty cleverly. We might be able to outrun them, though I seriously doubt that on this distance that they were launched at. I mean, they were launched pretty much at a kilometer distance. Even if they went around a little bit, it's unlikely that we'll be able to straight out outrun them. Although we do have a fairly significant speed now. So 25 knots, he's coming in at 40. So still closing in at 15 knots, but yeah, and just 100 meters away. So definitely both of these guys will be coming in a second time. So we must spoof them yet once more, and I don't think we will definitely run out of luck at some point. I don't think we can fire just straight off, can we? No, we cannot. Can we go any deeper? Can you go just as deep as possible? You're already as deep as possible. Can you only go down to that depth? That's pathetic. How deep is as deep as possible? It's really as deep as you can go? That's not that impressive. Oh dear God. Oh dear God. Just 80 meters. That's gonna be... Yeah, there we go. HMS Ambush has been destroyed. That's a pity. But we were able to take out the other submarine, but definitely not very great. And I do see that we have a new probable sub-contact. Where's that? Where's Goblin 463? I don't think I see that. Yeah, so our torpedoes were much better than his were, but all in all, we were not extremely lucky there. Helicopters being readied, our F-35's coming back from up there. Contacts being lost around the city, that's fine, we'll probably lose them one by one. It will actually clean up the display a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah. Of course that was somewhat bad, I have to admit that, but also because we were hitting them quite late and to be honest, probably identifying them as hostile a little bit too late. We might actually want to have a look at, I don't know, you know what, it was probably just a Chinese submarine. So yeah, one of the latest UK submarines sunk, which is not that great, obviously, but yeah, stuff like that happens. How long does that Queen Elizabeth helicopter last? 2 more hours. You know what? This guy's really impressive, but I do think I want to send him home. And that does mean we should turn off your radars, because I don't want to give away the position of our carrier strike group. You can still see one of the helicopters from the Indian carriers at Vincent over there. It's returning home now. We are now entirely out of radar support, but then another one is coming up and it should very soon be active. There we go. You can see the white circle turning back on, and that does mean that we are back online. So I'm fast forwarding until we get our aircraft ready, which should be around 12 o'clock I think local time. It's now 10 o'clock, so 2 more hours should be fairly soon though. A little bit before that maybe we'll start to send out our helicopters for the second strike mission, and that's, to be honest, going to be a little bit it, because I don't think we actually need to fight this one through, although it's only 20 hours to go, so we might just sail off and do that on a very accelerated time. But at the end of the series I do want to go a little bit through the stuff that we learned, and maybe see whether there is anything that, you know, has been particularly impressive or not. Right, nothing much happening right now, so yeah, obviously gonna take this to HMS Ambush, this video, but so yeah, it's local time, it's a 11:45, quarter to noon, so let's briefly check on the status of our aircraft on Queen Elizabeth up here. These guys will be ready in about 40 minutes, that's fine. The guys on the Vikram yacht will be ready in about 40 minutes as well. And on the Vikrant, I did ask these guys to restructure themselves. It's going to be about an hour. That's fine. So I think at, well, probably at 12:15 or so we'll start to send out our helicopter. That should be fine. Of course that in reality would take away a little bit from the surprise of the enemy, but all in all I do think that's a very fine idea. So let's go ahead here just a couple of more minutes, and here we go. So let's find Queen Elizabeth first. Here we go. I want to send out one of your helicopters first, and that is one of the, not the Stingray helicopters, these are anti-submarine helicopters. Nope, this early airborne warning guy, you should be taking off very soon, about 30 seconds, and you need a little bit of a head start because you are a helicopter and helicopters are slow. So here we go, sending you up over here, and actually at this point I would like to turn your radar dish on. We just turned that on already. Have you just turned that on already? Oh well. Yeah, apparently he has. Well, never mind. Should be alright. Good. So as you are coming up over here, we are starting to cover the enemy airfields, and that's very lovely. So let's get you up a little bit higher, just on max altitude please, and cruise speed, can you go on loiter speed? Oh, maybe cruise speed is fine. There we go. Coming up over here. Beautiful radar coverage. Right. It's about 1 PM, so let's start our flights. I'm gonna start off with Queen Elizabeth, although no, let's actually start off with Vikrant over here. So all of you guys, so first off, let's start with the high altitude bombs, because last time we did realize that these guys were a little bit more important. Can I launch you as a group? I think we can. And then we're going to follow up with the rockets actually. Lastly with the cluster bombs, and we're of course going to provide some cover with the AA missiles. Sorry about the noise. On the one hand, and on the other hand, these aircraft over here. We did refurbish these guys with something else. These are TV guided missiles, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about these guys because that is something new that we haven't seen last time. And over here, of course, on Queen Elizabeth, we are gonna launch 3 of you. Just let's launch 2 of you as a group, and then we're gonna launch 2 of these stealth fighters individually. All of you are picking one AM AIM 120Cs. So I think that's going to be fine. We don't need any specific air coverage, and that should be alright. So very soon these guys will start to launch, and then we'll of course send them up over here towards the enemy base. I'm saying. It's a little bit gaming speech, but towards this area over here, towards Omara, and see what particularly the enemies have over there. Good. So just waiting for these guys to start, and we should see that soon. Yeah. I think the first. Nope, just helicopters for now. So let's give that a couple of seconds. There we go. Many flights launching. Lightnings with a paveway. So these guys are what has been excellent actually at softening up enemy air defenses. So we'll definitely send these guys over. And then what else do we have? I think probably more F-35s with the paveways. What? 6 paveways? It's impressive. I didn't realize you had that many. I'm going to send you over here, because I do think that there are some aircraft on the tarmac that we might want to bomb. And then we have this other guy with a similar layout, and you have a similar mission. We're going to send you up over here to do a similar strike, and we're going to come up in between these two airfields just so that we don't get jumped upon. So you guys should all be alright. Then we have the MiG-29s. What are you? How come we have a single MiG-29? Oh, I think you probably were not actually able to launch as a group after all. So yeah, these do have a different bomb layout, so I don't think they were actually able to do that. Right, so let's bring you up over here. And let's make sure that your radars are strictly turned off, because I don't want our aircraft to emit as we go to target. Right, should be alright. Am I expecting any more? I think there might be. So what have we got? We have got 3-4 bombs, we've got the TV guided missiles, we've got the AA cover. So yeah, I think there are quite a couple of other aircraft. Yeah, here we go. The anti-tank bombers, or just cluster bombers, as we can see them coming up over there. That does leave one aircraft, I think, if I'm not entirely mistaken. Yeah, you can see it climbing, by the way, and just increasing its envelope. There we go. This should be the last aircraft with 3-4 bombs. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Let's bring it up over here. Good. So that brings up our second strike. We do see no enemy presence so far. It's 1 p.m. Still clear day, clear sky. No cloud coverage at all. So yeah, everything is good. We are coming up. F-35 slightly ahead of all of the other guys. They should also be slightly faster. Maybe we actually want to. Maybe we actually want to tell you to be on military speed, at the very least for these guys, so that they are actually a little bit ahead of the enemy. This helicopter will send a little bit to the left, just to disentangle stuff over here. And as I say disentangle, let's try to bring up the guys with the TV guided missiles first. You know what, these are the AA missiles. They'll be well positioned a little bit off to the left as well. Yeah, surprising speed actually. Lost a little bit of speed there, I think. Right, so yeah. Let's talk about this missile. This missile is a little bit close to some of the American missiles actually. It's a TV guided missile, so it's an optical launcher in here. You can read all of this. It's, I think, well, basically Russian. Standoff capable electro-optical guided bomb. And that is very important. There's, by the way, a little bit of a mismatch in between this. It has a release envelope of 5 500 to 5,000 meters, it says here, and yet over here in the database, you can launch it between 3,000 meters, so significantly higher, and 20,000 meters. So I don't know why that is, but nevertheless, this missile does have an explosive filler of 200 kilograms of bomb material, and most importantly though, it is a standoff capable missile. So that is what we've been missing the entire time. This is what can or does give the Indian Air Force some capability to strike targets without directly engaging, without overflying them basically, without being exposed to a fire in the same sense. So there is a catch though, and that catch is that I don't think it is actually capable of destroying two specific targets. Stationary ground targets, it says. So that's very, very different. Small solid concrete shelters, runways, rail and highway bridges. So much more stationary targets. And I don't think that what we will be targeting over here in mobile units is actually a valid target. Although by the token of this simulation it certainly is. So you know what? That's fine. We are going to accept that that is simply how the game does model it, and therefore we should be alright. Right, so what else? I think what I wanted to check is again on the RB-70. So that is one of the missiles that has been pestering us in the past. This one in particular, so that's ManPad, it's manually launched, and it has a target altitude of up to 13,000 feet above ground level. So what I would like to do is get you to be a little bit higher than that. Let's tell you to be from over here towards over here. You will overfly the enemy at about an altitude of 14,000 feet. Yeah, there we go. That should be alright. So you will be staying out of the engagement envelope of the enemy ground targets, but we will travel down a little bit just to make sure that we are within the engagement range of the enemy basically. I think I would like these guys to be a little bit delayed, so we will tell them to loiter, but a little bit less fuel, but come in a little bit later than some of these other guys. Starting to detect these mobile installations again, and that should be fine. And let's accelerate a little bit, at the very least till we get to the point where these F-35s are coming very close towards the enemy. By the way, let me check. Oh yeah, I think I forgot someone. Oh yeah, that's too bad. Can you actually reach over here? You can. Sorry about that. So I did forget the 80mm rockets. Oh well. So I don't think you'll be able to do much, but yeah, you'll be a little bit latecomer towards the show. You're supposed to have a really good range, but I do think if I were to go to military speed that would drop off dramatically. Yeah, it does, so let's not do that. Let's simply accept that these guys will be a little bit late. But we do have enough bombers over here and other similar interestingly aircraft, so that should be alright. But that's really it, yeah. All of the other guys are helicopters, which was the reason I didn't spot that. Anyway, I think this is a very good place to put in the cut, so next time we will see our second and final attack, and after that I'll probably talk a little bit about the learnings. So, thank you very much for watching. See you guys next time. Bye bye.